Hello, and welcome to Verbling. My name is Teacher Oakley, and this week, well, at least for 4 consecutive days here on Verbling, at this particular time slot, we are going to be looking at topics related to job search and looking for a job, applying CVs and job interviews. Today, we are going to put our focus on writing a CV, or curriculum vitae. Strangely enough, being an American, I'm embarrassed to say, but before I left the country and moved to another country, I had no idea I'd never heard of a CV. We call it a resume in the United States, and of course I knew what a resume was. But anyway, in some places it's called a CV, others it's a resume. Today we'll talk about it somewhat. We'll look at a template. We'll look at a sample resume and discuss it together. Okay. Welcome to the class, Heidi. How are you?
Hello, nice to see you again.
Hi. Nice to see you too. Welcome to the class. And Nader, hello, hello. Hi, Nader, how are you? Hi. Pardon me. Okay. Great. Good. Glad to hear it. Oh, I'm fine. Thank you. A little tired, but I'm fine. Okay. Oh, good. Eduardo is back. Hello, Eduardo.
Hello, teacher. How are
Hello
you?
again. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very interested in this topic because I'm currently looking for a job.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm really glad you could join us. Okay, before we look at some information and talk about content of your CV, let me just introduce a little bit by saying I think the most important point that I can get across to everyone is the fact that a CV, the most common mistake is to say, all right, I'm going to sit down and write myself a CV. And you write a CV and you do the best job you can, and you spend a lot of time on it. You're very careful, and you have someone edit it. That's a good idea, by the way. Have somebody else look at it to edit it. And then you say, great, I have a super CV, and you send it out to 10 different companies. Well, unfortunately, it's not a very good strategy. You may get lucky and your CV will match a certain company, a certain position, but you're not really helping yourself. Basically, writing a CV and having one ready, even if you already have a job, having a CV on file that you can use as a template for yourself is a great idea. It makes your job a lot easier, because once you have your own personalized template, you can copy and paste and move things around so that they are the things on your CV, and add or subtract so that your CV is targeted to the specific job / company that you are applying to. This is really important, and is the underlying thesis of basically everything I'll be talking about with you today. You want to target your cover letter, target your CV, and in your preparation for the job interview, you want to target what you're studying, what you're practicing to say, because every company is different, and even though you may be the same position in 3 different companies, there may be slight differences in the way the companies operate, where they operate, who their customers are, etc. So, extremely important is the idea of targeting your CV. Now, okay, we're going to go ahead and kind of look at a sample here, and we'll start out kind of going over a template together. But in any case, a template is all well and good, and you can download several gazillion templates off the internet. They're very easy to find, not a big deal. However, first step in targeting your resume is very simple. You have to do a little research about the company. That means if you know anybody that works at the company, that's the best information you can find. If you don't, then look online, find the company's website. Especially pay attention to things like the About Us page. Most company websites have such a page or something similar, where they talk about the company dynamics, whatever, who's running the company, what is their focus. It may include a company motto or a mission statement from the company. This is actually very, very important. If you can find a mission statement for the company or a motto, while this may not help you so much in your final interview with a person who might be your boss, but it will help you with your cover letter, CV, and if you have an HR interview. Because HR department people know this mission statement by heart. They know the motto, and if you can basically rephrase information from the mission statement or motto in your job interview, for example, this is going to, okay, this is what they're looking for. This is what they've been trained to look for. You're helping yourself a lot. So, do some research. Second, you're writing your CV. You have to think about what the company wants and what you have on your CV. Whatever you have on your CV that most matches the company and what they're looking for, the qualifications, the skill set, the abilities, whatever, you put that first. There is no, okay, you will see lots of, okay, here is a CV template. You should put this first, this second, this. Not necessarily. It really depends on the company. What you put first, and by the way, I know I used to be a recruiter. You really don't, if you're a recruiter and you're looking at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 CVs a day, believe me, you do not study each line item on a CV. You don't have time for that. So you kind of skim through it, but you look at the top first. If there's 3 jobs listed, you probably are only going to look at the first one and quickly skim the second one, second and third one. The third one, you glance at it. Maybe if you worked at that company, you'll read it more in depth, but if you didn't, you look at, okay, the name of the company, and that's it. So what you really want them to see should be topmost, presented first. That's it. Very simple. Whatever your strongest qualifications are. Okay. Let's. I'm going to do a screen share now, and we can talk about some things you might put on your resume, and we'll talk about the different sections of the resume as well. Generally, I mean, there is a general format, but remember, you can shift things 1 position, 2 positions if you need to. All right, we're going to look at a resume template. Okay, all right. And again, the idea is to format your resume into a customized resume to send to not just all employees, possible potential employers, but each one of them. One thing you will do the same every time, most certainly your contact information should be very easy for your potential employer to find. I center it top center of my resume. Personally, that's what I do, but whatever, you got to put it up there first so they can see your name. And I personally will use bolder print at the very least so they can see my name. Somehow I'm going to make this stand out with bold print or a different font or a different size, whatever. I'm going to do something so they can see my name immediately. The last thing I want is for a potential employer to be interested in me and I have a weird name. Okay, my name's Oakley Moody. It's a strange name. I don't want them to skip by my name or not understand my first name is my first name and skip me because they can't find me in a file full of resumes. Plus, if they're saving a template in a file, most certainly they'll just, when you save a file, it's going to save the first thing you wrote. So, all right, you want that to be quite clear. All right, okay, your address information, obviously your contact information. And, okay, contact information, however you're most easily and reliably contacted. Okay, in this example, it has phone first and then email address. I wouldn't do that because half the time I don't look at my cell phone for 12 hours in a day. However, I check my email address at least a dozen times a day. So, all right, I would put my email address first. Doesn't matter, but all right. Right from the beginning, thinking about what is the best thing to do. All right, let's look at a possible format. Again, this is just one of, you can move your headings around, you can do different things. However, if you're going to write an objective, which is optional, please keep it short, a sentence or two. This is definitely crucial. You don't want to be writing a whole paragraph because they're never going to read it. And again, highly customized, specific to, definitely very specific to the company. Some people like to do an objective, some people do not. Nader, do you put an objective on your resume or CV, or did you in the past? I know you already have a job. You do, okay. As do I. All right. It's a matter of opinion whether to include one or not. I do. Eduardo, what do you think? Eduardo, are you there? Oh, I put Eduardo to sleep. Okay. And now he's gone. Oh dear. Oh my gosh. Well, all right. All right, to continue. If you're going to do an objective, you might as well do it right or not do it at all. So don't just put generic, I am looking for a position in the field of sales where I can reach my full potential in this field. I have a strong experience, and I want to further my career in this field, blah, blah, blah. Don't bother doing that. But what you're trying to do, what you want to do is explain really briefly and quickly, right from the beginning, why you best meet their qualification standards right away. Blunt, forward, and to the point. Eduardo.
Hey, teacher, told me. I'm sorry, my internet's very bad.
It's okay. It's all right. It happens. Happens to all of us. No worries. All right. You're in the job market. So, what is your opinion of writing an objective paragraph? Which, by the way, an objective paragraph
I think
about
it's
that size. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I read one. Can I tell you?
Yeah, sure you can. That'd be great. Terrific.
Okay. This is for, it's like, it's for a position as a project engineer, and it's next maintain an overall plan that tracks project requirements, inputs, and deliverables.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, one more time.
Okay. It's maintain an overall plan that tracks project requirements and deliverables.
Okay, I'm a little confused.
Okay, I'm going to write that.
Okay. Well, an objective is something like you start out by saying something like, I am looking for a position. Your objective, what are you trying to do? That's the whole idea. I'm looking for a position as whatever job title. And even personalize it at ABC company as I feel as whatever other title that you've had, job title, something like this. For 2,000 years, I feel my background as a whatever for 2,000 years meets your qualifications. I have had great success in advancing the overall sales in my last 3 positions. Something like that, something that seems to be the most important to the company when hiring. That's what you want to say in the objective. So your objective is what you have to say, what job you're looking for. If you can, personalize the company that you're sending the resume to. That's good. That's good stuff. And then give a couple of, 1 or 2 of the qualifications that best fit what they're looking for. Something of that nature. Okay. So what was your thing there? Okay, here we go. Okay, well, all right. Okay, now I see what you got here. All right, Eduardo. Great. Yeah, okay, I can help you out with this a little bit. All right, so you have okay. You're giving them the short sentence like you do in the rest of the resume here, you know. You're going to make bullet points and such when it comes to writing, you know, experience and skills and so forth. The objective needs to be in the form of a very short paragraph, but in the objective you use full sentences. Okay. My goal is to get a position wherein I can maintain an overall plan that tracks project requirements, inputs, and deliverables. something like that. So you want to make a full sentence. All right. So if I can add something, you know, my goal is to attain a position in which I will be tasked with, you know, instead of maintaining, something like that. Okay, that's off the top of my head, so you might want to refine that a little. Okay, but a complete sentence. Okay? All right? And then if I were you, I would add one more sentence about something Yahoo you did that matches this. Okay? Something that proves you've done it. I have done this statement. Whether that, now if you're, I realize you may not have the actual, for those, you or others who are just out of university, for example, you don't really have the practical work experience to put a sentence here, what you have done. But whatever is the closest, I have maintained a 4.0 grade point average in some related, okay, in your studies, or whatever's closest to the idea of that shows you can do this. All right? You got me? And that's it, like 2 sentences. You got the idea?
Yeah,
or am I confusing you? Great. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now here's another optional. Any good resume template you see you should see the word optional a lot, because it is optional. Okay, if you're going to do career highlights or qualifications, again, you want to mirror what the company's asking for. If the company has a list of 4 or 5 bullet-pointed qualifications that are necessary to get the job, then you probably want to do this. You probably want to give a qualifications heading. If in the advertisement, the online advertisement, the first thing in the advertisement, applicants must have the following qualifications. If that's the first thing in the advertisement, then okay, mirror that in your CV, because clearly it's important to them. If they say something like in the advertisement, applicant must have proven track record in the field, something of that nature, then okay, career highlights might be the thing to lead off with. So in other words, lead off with what makes sense. If the advertisement says we're looking for okay, a well-rounded individual with great communication skills, something more along the lines of personality-based qualifications, okay, well, you might start with a profile heading. All right, so again, we're always mirroring what, to the best of our knowledge, we think the company wants. All right, key achievements, skills, traits, experience, well, whatever, you know, whatever heading related to the heading. Okay. All right. Again, all right, well, it highlights your relevant experience and lets the prospective employer know you've taken the time to create a resume that shows how you are qualified for the job. And since this is one of the first things they're going to look at, they, you know, ideally, what you want to do is create a CV where the person in HR or recruiting or whatever, where they look at it, they read they quickly read the objective, and they read some qualifications, and then they go, yeah, okay, I'm hiring. I'm going to call this guy in for an interview, without even looking at anything else. That would be the ideal scenario. And And believe me, if you can do that, you're making the HR or recruiter happy as well. If they can waste less time looking at your CV and they know they want to call you, you're making them happy. You're saving them time. So you're helping them out already. And all right, you're helping me out. I'm going to help you out. Okay. Obviously, if you've here's another qualification. Okay, Eduardo, you got some. What's this? Your qualifications you're sharing with me here?
Yes, that's my. I think that it's the part of my resume that covered that part.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's basically the idea. Don't be afraid to use bullet points. However, but you can break this up into bullet points if you want.
Okay.
Again, the objective has to be full sentences, a short paragraph. But from here on out, you can work on bullet points, and bullet points are better, straight to the point. Okay, so where do you have these paragraphs? All right, maybe instead use bullet points. Okay. So All right, da-da-da-da. Something like that. Okay, maybe add another one. Try well, okay. And I think Nader has a very strong point there, Eduardo.
Okay.
If you can see his suggestion, I would agree with that 100%. Nader suggests if you are English second language learner or speaker, suggests that he have a native speaker review, proofread your CV. Actually, Nader, I will one-up you on that suggestion. I would recommend that anybody, even a native speaker, has somebody edit or proofread. Even though, whatever, I'm an English teacher, writing a CV would have somebody proofread my CV. I think everyone would benefit from that advice. Yeah. Yeah, another eye cannot hurt at all. Always good. Right. Okay, continuing, quick howdy hello to Ken. Hey, Ken.
Yes, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Well, Ken, we're kind of talking our way through a resume and resume headings here. We're about halfway down here. Experience. Now you've got to have this. This is, notice there's no notation of optional here. You have no option. You have to put your experience on a resume. You must. Now, one thing, especially people right out of university or right out of school, they're always worried, oh, all I ever did was I worked at McDonald's, or I had a part-time job delivering papers, or something completely unrelated. Don't worry about it. Quite honestly, I mean, obviously that might affect the likelihood of you being hired, but don't not write something because you've done only unrelated things. It is better, obviously it's better to have related work experience. If you do not, however, trust me when I tell you, as somebody who used to be a recruiter, believe me, it always looks, the fact that you know how to work in a company, the fact that you know how to work at all, is actually quite a big benefit. Believe me, I would pick, all right, if I had looking at two CVs, now this is just my opinion and me personally, but if I had two CVs and one person graduated from a good school, but they had never had a job in their life. And I had another person who went to a junior college, but they had worked at a place for 3 years while they were in junior college and kept the job the whole time. I would pick that person that had the 3 years experience working in a job at McDonald's every time. No question in my mind. Absolutely not. Because they know what it means to work, to have to follow rules. They obviously didn't get fired. They obviously have some clue of what to expect in the workplace. So it doesn't matter what you do. Obviously you want the most clearly work-related experience that you can write. Okay. Okay, there's a couple ways. Don't forget bulleted list of responsibilities and achievements. You can format this in different ways, whatever. You can, I don't know, center this or put it on the side. You can play around with that, whatever. That's up to you. Please do have your bullet points, okay? Try. It's pointless to have one bullet point, okay? At least two, or it looks a little silly. You want to dates worked. Well, wait a minute. We don't have the position. You should have your position. Frequently, for many of us, I, for example, would be doing this. I would have my start position, and I would do this so that they could see it very easily. Start position, and then whatever, fry cook. End position. Now, I would do this. Maybe you have the same position when you stopped and started, but frankly, if you got promoted, you're going to want to do this. Okay, end position, head chef. Great. Well, make it obvious. Make it stand out. Make it easy to see. Maybe company name in bold. Maybe don't be shy. The last thing you want to do is be shy. End position, head chef, bold, so they see it. You want them to see this. Okay, maybe both. Started at fry cook and he ended at head chef. Great. Okay. If you worked a job in university and you started in January 2009, but then you didn't work there during the school year and you only worked there in the summers. I don't care. Whatever. That's all right. You still worked there. They hired you back again, and that's the point. You don't have to write anywhere that, oh, I didn't work during the fall 2010 semester. If you had a hiatus from the job, never mind. That's really actually not even important. And if don't even consider, oh, it's dishonest. No, it's not. They hired you back. So, if anything, it's dishonest the other way. If they didn't bother to get a different employee, and actually, don't worry about that. That's great. Oh, there's the job title. Okay, I lost it down there. All right, but same thing. Okay. Company 1, of course, you should always write your resume from closest to now into the past. So company 2, more in the past. Company 3, more in the past, like that. Oh, I missed the job title. All right. Responsibilities and achievements, those are your bullet points. And again, with this one, don't be shy. Really, don't be shy. If, you know, okay, your responsibilities are pretty easy. I think everybody can handle that, figuring out what they did. But for achievements, frankly, again, always put what's more important first. Achievements are better than responsibilities. So, okay, increased gross revenues by 10% per year. All right, whatever. All right, first. Then put, okay, what you did. Okay, district sales manager, whatever, whatever. That's the idea. Most important stuff first. Okay, now, if you have loads and loads of experience, all right, I'm a freak. I've been a chef. I've done construction work. I've done marketing work. I've done recruiting, as I said. I'm a teacher now. Whatever. Obviously, when I write a resume, I have to figure out what jobs match what position, whatever kind of job I'm trying to get. Don't worry if you have gaps in times. Frankly, if you did a totally different kind of job somewhere in the middle, then write it, but with only a brief, don't take up too much space. And then you have your company 3 job is more closely related, then spend more time on that. So just a quick line, you worked in a completely different field. You sailed across the Atlantic as a whatever, as a as the captain of a sailing ship. That has nothing to do with your programming job. It's okay to put it on there, but keep it very brief. It's not related. Okay, education you have to have, but education is one of those things. This can go, now, depending, if you're right out of school, this is obviously where some of your most qualifying information is going to be. This can be right up there at the top. In fact, if your education is a lot more strong than your work history, you may want to put education first. In my case, it's been about 100 years since I graduated university. This, believe me, goes way on the bottom of my resume. It's hardly relevant anymore. But you do have to have it. But it can go anywhere from the very top to the very bottom of your resume. Skills. Here's another one that, depending, is the position that you're looking at, is it largely dependent on certain skills that you must have? Well, then this needs to be higher up in the resume. Depends on what kind of job you're trying to get, but that may certainly be placed much higher up. Okay, references. There's no need to include references. A quick line, or having a separate list of references to give the employers upon request is perfectly acceptable. Yeah, in fact, I would suggest that it's becoming less and less common to include references on the CV. Okay. All right. So, looking at, let's talk about some of these headings. What are you going to put first? Ken, what would you put first? First of all, obviously your contact information has to be first.
Your name?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's your contact information. That has to be first, every time, no matter what. Next, would you do an objective or not? Ken?
I mean, name or object. What is objective?
Okay. What do you want to do? All right. I'm looking for a position as a type. What is your objective? What is your goal?
Okay.
And okay. My goal is to attain a position. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, be careful with this. Okay, Eduardo, we're using. You send me your information. Attain a position in which I will be tasked. Okay, if you're just sending a resume to a company and you don't even know what position you want, keep it vague like this, to attain a position. But if you're applying for a very specific position, then write the exact position. Well, I think that's kind of obvious. Okay, so Ken, objective or not? There's no wrong or right answer, frankly.
I think it's optional.
It is optional. I'm asking what you would do, or what you have done in the past.
We can write it on the different document, a letter or something.
Yeah, you could write similar information in your CV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep this in mind, however. Frankly, when I was recruiting, the email that you send is your cover letter. Then you have the CV. Basically, I like your cover letter. I open up your CV. I look at it. I file your CV. Maybe I write your number down with your name on or copy paste it onto another file so I could call you when I'm done looking at CVs, organizing myself. Different people will have different organizations. I would just delete the cover letter. Once I have the resume and I have your contact information, I don't care about the cover letter anymore. So this is one reason why you might want to include the objective here and not, because frankly, that's what I used to do. The cover letter I look at for 30 seconds. Yeah, so that's why an objective is sometimes good, because not everybody saves the cover letter. I certainly wouldn't. Whatever, 2,000 emails in my inbox, I'm not going to save every cover letter I get. That's insane. Okay. Okay. Anyway, career highlights, qualifications, profile. So anyway, let's. Okay, hang on. I forgot. I wanted to look at a sample. Oh. Okay, let's look at an example. Okay, all right, this is an imaginary targeted resume for human resources. There it is. Oh, as I said, nice and prominent, bold name, da-da-da-da. Okay, this resume starts with the heading Summary of Professional Qualifications, bullet pointed. Okay. All right, notice how brief and to the point these bullet points are. Notice also experienced manager with expertise in human relations and project management, a more general statement. Down below, shorter, staff training, program marketing, management coaching. Okay. All right. This imaginary resume is written on always what you think is the most important qualification first, what you think is the least important last. You may or may not agree with this person's imaginary list, but okay. Qualifications is very good. Eduardo, what do you think you're going to lead with? You've indicated that you probably will do a objective statement. Yes.
Yeah.
What are you going to do after that? Qualifications, work experience, education. What do you think?
I think To me right now, I think the most important part is education, because I'm looking for a job that need people that know Portuguese, and I am studying in Brazil,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and for that I put that first, the education.
Well, don't forget the fact that you are multilingual, Eduardo, is could very well be a qualification. It's definitely a skill. Okay.
Okay.
So you might want to put something like skills as your first heading,
Oh yeah.
or qualifications. That is a qualification. What you just said, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's okay. All right. Keep that in mind. Okay, here's a heading we haven't talked about: professional affiliations. Okay. Do you have any affiliations, Eduardo?
That is like a certification or something like that?
No, these are groups that the person probably pays dues to. Um, it's a group of, obviously professional, these groups, Portland Human Resources Management Association.
Like the Doctors Association or something like that?
Yeah, like that. Right.
I don't have one.
Okay. Get one. Join a group. How about you, Ken? Do you have any professional affiliations?
No.
Okay. Always good to have these. Now, again, this person has put this high on the list. Why? I think because this is targeted for human resources. Human resources is a business that demands human networking and lots of it. So, all right, this would actually be more important for this job than many other jobs. If you were a graphic artist, there's not a whole lot of networking that you're going to be doing, so it's probably way less important to have this. But professional affiliations do make a difference. Because why? Because if the person looking at this resume also belongs to one of these groups, there's an instant feeling of like brotherhood, or, oh, he's part of my group. Having affiliations, belonging to associations, whatever, business associations or associations related to your profession, definitely can help you. It's gotten me a job or two, actually. Expressing that I belong to the National Order of Cooks and Chefs Association. When I moved from New York City to California, that's why I got the job instantly. He said, oh, you belong to the NACC? Nothing that you guys would ever even have heard of, ever, or that anybody who wasn't a cook or chef would ever have heard of. And most people don't take the time to do it. Got me a job in 5 minutes, so I know this works. So you may consider doing that. It may help you, especially if you don't have a lot of experience. You're right out of university or something. Okay. Professional experience. All right, here we go. Here's how this person set it up. Nice and bold, their position. Okay, I kind of agree with this, making this more apparent than the company. All right, years, and then their bullet points. Okay, senior management of a joint commission on accreditation of healthcare organizations, JCAHO, accredited treatment facility. Sounds very professional. Well, that's what you have to do. Keep it very brief, but sounding very professional. Okay. Responsible for, okay, that's fine. You're going to see that a lot. What are you responsible for? Just say it. Okay, responsible for recruiting, orienting, training, and supervising 50 staff. Okay, now look at this. Was able to reduce staff turnover from 68 to 14%. By improving staff orientation and training. Frankly, all right, I guess this is more impressive. But this is really impressive to me as well. Do not be shy about writing down some numbers and percentages, some statistics that you influenced. Definitely not. This stuff is very impressive. Not to mention, it's very easy to pick out numbers on a resume, and frankly, your eyes are more or less drawn to numbers when you're skimming, reading, psychological ploy. So if you're just, you're dealing with somebody, a recruiter or HR person who's overworked as it is, they skim down, they see some numbers. What? 50 staff, reduced turnover, 68 to 14. Oh, wow. Numbers are impressive, and they're easy to find on a page that somebody's just skimming down through, which chances are very good that's what they're going to do. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Program marketing, increase annual revenue by 38%. Oh, there's another number. I would have put this one higher on the list. Don't be shy. Don't hide your light under a bushel, as we say. Okay. All right, program director, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's the idea. You can see 4 or 5 points, maybe too many bullet points here. I don't know. Oh, maybe not. I have the, maybe fine. Basically, you would love for everything to fit on one page, but of course, if you're actually writing a hard copy, make sure that it's readable. Well, or soft copy, doesn't matter. Make sure that it's easily readable. Okay, during tenure period, increased. Yay, you increased good things, you decreased bad things. Don't be afraid of using your verbs to show how your influence created change. Now, if you're in a university, then don't be shy about talking about projects where you were able to get results, whatever, increase, decrease. These are all very good things to show. Okay, education is farther down the list here. That's it. Now this person, very clear, concise. This is a great resume. This is a great example of a resume, frankly. Most likely the advertisement that this person is responding to actually asks for these qualifications right off the bat. Most likely. Okay. Eduardo, sorry guys, but I know Eduardo is actually looking for a job, so I'm kind of focusing on him. I hope you guys don't mind. Eduardo, do you have any professional experience?
Yes, have teacher.
Cool. That's good. All right. Is it related to the field that you want to be in?
That's a good question. It's not, but it's a work and I need it.
Okay. Okay. Well then. Now this happens. That's okay. Now look. For example, I had been working as a chef for 20 years, and I got a job at a BPO firm, all right? And because all my work experience was as a chef, not exactly related to business process outsourcing. However, in my bullet points down here, my job bullet points, like this stuff, what I emphasized was customer service. Okay, I emphasized that I was in charge of liaisoning in talking to potential customers about booking weddings and conferences. Okay, I put that as my first bullet point. I put other things related to okay, I was tasked with responsible for marketing efforts. Okay, I put different things that were related to customer service because I know this was primarily a customer service BPO. Do you see what I'm saying? So
That's it, teacher.
you get it? So I'm leading with, I'm making, even though my job really wasn't related at all, I'm making it related by emphasizing and leading with the bullet points that the two jobs have in common. Right?
Yeah, thank you for the advice. It's very helpful.
Yeah, okay. Yes, and it's effective. It works. And it's amazing, frankly. It's amazing. Work is work. It's amazing how many totally different kinds of jobs have very, very similar aspects to them, really. You'd be surprised. Teaching. I used to be a chef. People don't understand that being a chef involves training your staff in exactly the way you want the dishes prepared, the methodology, the ingredients, the step-by-step process. You're spending 25% of your time as a chef training other people. So a quarter of your job is actually 10 hours a week out of 40 is actually teaching. So it's very much related. In any case, you got to find the similarities and then lead off with those bullet points, Eduardo. That's what I suggest.
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Sure. Any last questions before I go? We're out of time, so thank you. Thank you for your patience, Nader. And thanks for your suggestions, Nader, very much. You're very helpful. And Ken, thanks for your patience. Eduardo, best of luck. Tomorrow, oh, by the way, I should remind you, tomorrow at this time slot and the next day, much more interactive classes because we'll be doing job interview. And I will be asking job interview questions.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Bye-bye.